I am Edward Arthur Walker, and spelled EDWARD,
What is your birthday?
7th of the second month.
What year?
Oh, it was 1929.
29. So you were born in the year of Great Depression.
Yeah.
And where were you born?
Tikawiti.
Could you spell it?
Yeah, Tekuiti.
Tekuiti.
Tikawiti, yeah.
Tekuiti. And is it far from here?
No, it's south of here.
I see.
What would it be? 30 miles.
And tell me about your family when you were growing up. When you were a child, what did your father and parents do, mother and siblings?
My grandparents and their siblings came from England in 1914, and they left England because they had 8 boys and 2 girls, and they had a business there, but they came to New Zealand because there was more opportunity for 8 sons. And they came out and they lived in the back country and developed land as farmers. And 3 of the sons went to the First World War, and when they came back, one of the sons took over the farm in Mokawiti.
Makuiti.
And then they moved to Tikawiti onto another farm. And that's where my father grew up.
How many animals did you have?
Oh, they milked cows and they had sheep to go with them. They had about 30 cows and sheep because through the King country, ragwort was a problem and sheep used to eat it.
So you know how to take care of those?
How do I?
You know how to take care of those cow and sheep?
Yeah. Yes, we were farming too.
Tell me about your siblings, brothers and sisters. How many?
10.
10?
One was a twin and she died at 88 months.
I'm sorry.
Then I lost a brother and a sister. So we've got 8 left.
Were you the eldest?
No, I have a sister older than me.
But eldest among boys?
Yes.
Good. And tell me about the school you went through.
We went to Tikawiti School and we lived 3 miles from Tikawiti, and we were taken to school by a school bus, even though it was close.
Yeah, why?
And
You didn't like to walk?
no, that wasn't the problem. My father was compelled these others to put on a school bus for the children. And, and he took an interest in our education. So, and I was the first year when they started children at 5 years old. My sister was older than me. She started when she was 6. So I caught her up in schooling.
Were you a good student or bad student?
I did very well at school.
Very well? Oh, that's good.
And
Tell me how good you were.
oh, well, I got school certificate and that, but I was in the junior schools from Form, well, I missed Form 1, and so from Form 2 up, I was usually in the top 10 bracket.
Very impressive. So when did you graduate high school?
I went to high school, well, I finished high school in 1945.
1945. And what did you do then?
Well, then I went to Massey College for 1 year.
What is spelling, please?
Massey.
Missessey.
EY.
And what did you study?
Agriculture.
And then?
Then I came back to Tigwidi, and my brother and I did agricultural work. And we went on to be shearers and fencing. And
So did you run some kind of business, agricultural
no,
business?
we didn't. People used to ring us up when they wanted work done, and we had to organise it from there.
Uh-huh. So, but you were able to run your own farm?
No, we didn't have a farm at that stage. We never got farming until after return from Korea.
I see. And so, when did you join the military?
1951.
Uh-huh. What did you
Well,
join? Army or?
Army, yes. And they wanted us to go to Korea quickly, so we didn't. We only did the basic military training in New Zealand, and we started off on the Wahine, this one, that got north of Australia, and it crashed on a reef.
Oh.
And we were lucky there was an oil tanker nearby, and there were over 700 of us, and the Wahine was on such a keel, they couldn't lower the lifeboats on one side, and the other ones that were clinker boats, and they hadn't been in the water, so they dropped them in the water and they sank because of the water. But the tanker had steel lifeboats, so they managed to, it took them all day, and they transferred us over to the oil tanker. But we had hobnail boots, so we weren't allowed to walk on the steel deck. And so we were all on the cruise quarters area, which wasn't. So, and then they took us back to Darwin. And from there they flew us to Japan and then across to Korea.
So when did you arrive in Korea?
Oh, I'm not sure what date it was. In
1951.
1951.
And was it summer or?
No, I can't remember that.
Was it winter? Cold? Was it cold? Or
No,
hot?
not when we got there. It wasn't cold. It did get cold, and they never had the clothing for us.
Right. So was it during the summer that you arrived in Korea?
No, I'm not sure on that.
Okay. And where did you arrive? Busan?
Yeah, Busan. And they wanted some of our drivers to replace others that were already up in South Korea, to train the rest of the company in truck driving. And we went up there and replaced 30 of them, and they came back and we carried on there.
Where was it? In the north?
Yeah, in the north.
Was it Hill 35-5?
No, before that, around that area.
So you don't remember where you were?
Not exactly.
Not exactly, but anything you remember?
Yeah, Tokchon.
Dokcheon.
Yeah.
Yes.
We,
And yeah, go
we
ahead.
carted a lot of stuff from the Tokchon Railway.
Yes. And then?
We just carried on with what we were told to do.
So what was your specialty?
Truck driving.
Truck driving. And what was your unit?
Well, it was 10 company.
Teen?
10, 1-0.
1-0 company.
RNZASC.
Yes.
And We carted mainly ammunition and food, and then if there was movement of troops, we moved troops too.
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ammunition transportation, you carry those ammunition, and that's very dangerous, isn't it?
Yes.
Were there any incidents or
No.
dangerous moment?
No.
Nothing happened to you.
Oh no, my mate's truck got hit with shrapnel, but no trucks
I see.
and that.
Do you remember any special episode, accident happening during your service in Korea? Nothing happened?
There were a lot of vehicle accidents, and and one I can remember in particular.
Yeah.
The Americans had a Jeep,
Uh-huh.
and they went off the road into a thing, and our mechanics hopped in quick and towed it home and took the motor out of it, and it got a generator, so we were the only unit that had electric power.
So did you help them?
Yes, we helped each other.
Very good. And so you've been moving around.
Yes,
Yes. And so you must been in many different locations, right?
yes.
Yeah. You don't remember any, like a Kansas line or Little Gibraltar? Do you remember any location?
Not really.
No, not really.
Because some places we weren't there long and moved.
And at the time, you were not married, right?
No,
No. And did you write the letters back to your family?
yes.
So what kind of letter did you write?
Oh, telling them what was going on.
About the battle?
No, we weren't. No, mainly about our unit.
I see. Anything you remember you wrote in the letter?
I wrote to Shirley.
So you had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So what did you write to her?
I had to keep the relationship going.
How can you do that in the writing? You say, I love you?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay. So you must have missed her a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. What about the soft side of your service? Where did you sleep? What did you eat? How often were you able to take shower? Things like that.
In one of these albums,
Yeah.
it showed the shower that we'd rigged up in our platoon. We had to heat the water up, and then I don't know just where it is. And he had explained how we had the shower, but we had pot-belly stoves, and we lived in tents, 4-man tents, and we would heat water up, and it's bathe from we had a big dish, and we bathed from that in the tent. And we had one bloke came from Japan, joined our unit, and we hadn't seen him have a shower or a good wash for the first week he was there. So my mate, he was a older bloke, and he said, we're going to make sure he has a wash today. So we got through his clothing bag and got clean underwear out. And Herb said to him, Green, you're going to have a shower today. And he became obstinate and didn't want to. So we grabbed him and took his clothes off and gave him a scrub.
So you guys improvised
Yes.
kind of shower system, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How was food? What did you eat?
Well, being transport company, we had access to food.
Yeah, so you must have a lot of good stuff
Yeah.
there, right?
Yes, we were. Sometimes these boxes accidentally broke, so we had.
Accidentally broke,
Yeah.
right? No, you didn't do it. Accidentally broken, so that you have many different varieties of.
Yes.
C ration, U.S. C ration.
No, we came under America,
Yeah.
and we, or I don't know what you call them, but it wasn't all tin food. And we, we had Korean boys came, and we gave them some food, and some of them cooked our food. We had 2 boys.
Will you be able to go to Seoul, the capital city of Korea?
Yes.
Oh, so how was it, the capital city? I mean, describe detail how Korean city was at the time.
The city of Seoul at the time we went there was bombed out, and things were absolute mess.
Like what?
Well, nearly all the buildings were flattened, and because we went to Seoul quite often with our trucks, and then we also took troops to Incheon for leave and collected and brought them back.
How was it, city? I mean, how was Korean economy at the time? How was Korean people look to you? Tell me the details.
They were very hungry. They didn't have food, and they had no buildings, and how they survived we could never understand, because we were long way better.
Keep going.
But it didn't take them long to rebuild some places to live, but we went further north, so we didn't see them the same. But some parts of the railway still operated from Seoul southward.
How about children? How did they look?
When they were clean, under the conditions we couldn't get over it, because the women folk washed their clothes in a stream, no facilities whatsoever, and they used stones to get them the white. They got them real white again, and that. So when we had the opportunity, if there were women close that wanted work, they would wash our clothes for a very small amount, but they were happy to do it, and we were happy to give them payment for that. Mm-hmm. And some of them, we had one boy. It was before I got there that these others had him, and he used to tidy up our tent and do errands for us, and he was a very good boy. Very
good.
Yes.
And so you pay them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you been back to Korea?
No.
Not at all?
No, not at all.
Do you follow up with what's done in Korea? Economy, current economy?
Yes, up to a point, but mostly from TV programs. Mm-hmm. And we feel that South Korea have done very well. The people there have taken up things, and I think the Americans were a big help to them, because it was a bit more than that. They wanted them to be strong so that North Korea didn't come back again.
Yeah.
And, it was marvelous how they recovered.
Do you know the rank of Korean economy now in the world?
No, I don't.
The biggest economy in the world is China, right?
Yeah.
And the second is United States.
Yeah.
Third is Japan. Fourth is Germany. And the Korean economy is 11th, number 11 in the world. Can you believe that?
Yes, speaking to the Korean people when we were there, I can easily understand it, because they were brilliant people to talk to. And they got the help from the Americans, and they made good use of it.
Uh-huh. Very good point.
They've actually improved better than New Zealand.
So what do you think about this transformation from the Seoul you saw, Incheon you saw in 1950-51, and now they are one of the top economy in the world? What do you think about this whole transformation?
Well, it's been marvellous, hasn't it? Because they've got these big building things, and they're building motor vehicles equal to the best anywhere in the world. And you see a lot of them come to New Zealand. And most farmers have got their utes that they built in.
So are you proud about that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. You want to go back to Korea?
Or I don't think I could tolerate it. I'm 90 years of age.
Just 90.
Yeah.
Just 90. Yeah. So you can go back. But you brought this article, and that was the incident before you went for Korea, right? At the
That was on our way to Korea.
Yes. Could you show that to the camera? Could you show that to camera? And what is about it again? Explain it, please.
We were on the ship Wahine on our way to Korea, and in the Timor Sea, early hours of the morning, I was on the top deck, and there was a big crash, and I got up, and we were on the reef, and the island was directly in front of us, so somebody was at fault not seeing it.
So you had a war before you went to Korea, so that you are immune. I see.
Yeah.
So that was the ship,
Yes.
the big oil tank?
Yeah, one was the oil tank, and another's the Wahine.
Yeah. Thank you. And you brought a lot of pictures.
Yes.
I looked at it, and there are a lot of good pictures. And you promised me that, and also Shirley promised me that one of your grandchildren will scan it.
We will do our best on that.
He's not answering my question.
No, but I'm not sure whether any of them got the equipment to do
Yes,
it.
they have.
Hey?
Yes.
Well, they have, Shirley knows.
Or I can ask them to buy and I'll reimburse it. So they
Oh.
can have their own scanner, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yes.
could you show those pictures? Some of those pictures? Just open up there.
Oh, that was when we went to join the forces.
Can you show it like that? And then you can just, yes. Flip one by one.
This was us leaving Tikawiti to go to the camp for training in 1951. Oh, and that was still training. Oh, this was in, we called in on an Australian place. Oh, they had. Oh, this was when we left Wellington. And then this is Australia again.
So you have a lot of pictures like that. Did you take picture by yourself?
Yes.
You had a camera?
Yes.
You were in the war. You took camera with you?
Yes, I did.
Very good. And if you do not scan this and sharing with me, it's going to be in your closet forever, right?
Yeah.
Not many people will be able to see those. So, again, Edward,
Yeah.
are you promising me that you're going to let one of your grandchildren to scan it?
Yes, we will.
I recorded it, okay?
Yeah. Oh, this was in Darwin.
Show me some pictures of Korea.
Oh, let's go.
This is how we want to make sure that you are not forgotten, okay?
This was our boy that worked for us.
Ah, the Korean boy?
Yeah, Korean boy.
Yes, I see that. Yes.
we had Korean chap come and he cut our hair for a very small amount. There's my mate.
Are you having haircut there?
Hey,
Haircut?
yeah, haircut that one.
Yeah. It's a Korean salon.
That's a railway wagon that had been blasted with shells, but it was still usable.
So, Edward, I really want to have those pictures be available for many other people who don't have any idea Korea looked in 1950s, okay? So, Shirley, you are the one. I'm trusting you, okay? All right. So, oh, that's the boy?
That's a Korean woman with her baby on the back. And mate,
That's how we used to carry our babies in their back.
used to carry a lot of other things. And
On your top of head, right?
no, with these A-frames,
A-frame, yes.
and that, and we found them. Some of the loads they carried were too heavy for us to carry any distance.
Okay.
Oh.
There we go. We have another guest here, and would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Shirley Walker,
And
wife of Edward Arthur Walker,
when did you marry him?
1954.
1954. So right after he came from Korea.
Soon after,
Uh-huh. Did you know him before he left
Yes.
Korea? So you were a girlfriend? When did you meet him?
1951. Oh, 50, yeah.
51. How did you meet him?
He came to work in our valley, next door to us.
And looking for girlfriend?
We'll say so.
Why did you like him? Was he handsome?
Oh, yes, he was quite handsome.
And he is handsome too. And so when he left for Korea, how did you feel about it?
I was very worried about it, yes.
Because he might be killed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Did you cry?
Yes.
Okay. You have a very good girlfriend. And when he was in Korea, he wrote many letters to you, right?
Yes.
What kind of letter? Can you reveal some secret?
He'd explain what sort of things they'd been doing, driving here or there, or and of course always said that he loved me, so
Did you know anything about Korea before?
no,
Nothing?
nothing.
Didn't your school teach anything about Korean history?
No,
Not at all.
no,
What about Japan or China?
no, not really.
Not really. So you didn't know much about Asia.
No, didn't know
Okay.
much about Asia. No.
So after he returned, you married.
Yes,
Did he talk about the war that he fought for in Korea to you?
yes, he did. Yes.
What? How?
He just said the incidents that happened while and how the Korean people helped the army ones.
I also sent back rolls of film and Shirley got them developed.
And that's how you got this album?
Yes.
So you are responsible for that album. And do you ever talk to your grandchildren or children about the war you fought?
No, not really.
Not at all. So your grandchildren really don't know about the war that you fought for?
No.
No. Do you know our New Zealand history textbook talking about the Korean War or not?
Not really.
Not really, yeah. Has been covered some of it, but not much, okay?
No.
So that's why we are trying to do this,
Which is a good idea.
right?
Yes.
Yes, I have some good ideas. And we are not just preserving your memory in the form of interviews, but at the same time, we are analyzing this interview, and teachers are listening. And I'm trying to connect with the history teachers in New Zealand who wants to do those jobs. And then we want to make a history book like that so that they can talk about the war you fought for. Yeah. And there, your pictures will be used. Many young students will look at those pictures and they will be surprised to see the Korean woman carry their baby in their back, A-frame, and this small busboy working for you, things like that.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a very good idea.
Right?
Yes.
So would you promise me that one of your grandchildren again to scan these things and send it to me?
We will do that.
Great. It's important to do that, right? Otherwise, it's going to be just kept in one of your closet.
Yeah.
And in 10, 20 years, nobody will...
No.
Do you just want the photos scanned, and you're going to judge what they are from that?
Yeah. But you can scan those pictures related to Korea.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of postcards from Japan, but that's doesn't have to be. So let's do that, okay? Yeah, I think that's very good. And grandchildren, they know how to do those things much better than me. So it's not going to be a difficult job, okay?
No.
Yeah. What do you think your legacy as a Korean War veteran? Why is it important? What did you do importantly for Korea now?
Well, we felt that North Koreans were giving them a very rough time, and when the army called for volunteers, we volunteered. But the artillery section of New Zealand went before us. They trained and took their artillery pieces to Korea. And it was pretty serious when they got there. North Koreans had the advantage, and they were getting south nearly to Busan.
That's your legacy, right?
Yes.
Now that Korea used to be very poor, became the country that offering economic aid to other countries, who are in needs. So that's a great transformation. You are a big part of it.
Oh, we only thought we'd doing what we could at the time, because it didn't look very good at times that we might have got chased out too.
And next year, 2020, is going to be the 70th anniversary of the Korean War. What would you say? Do you have any special message to the Korean people? Shirley?
I think they're doing a wonderful job, and I hope they continue.
Continue, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's very important. How about Edward?
I feel that they have recovered from what the war had done to them, and proved to the world that it can be done if you're progressing ahead.
That's right. So, any other special episode that you didn't share with me? Anything during the war?
Oh, we were in transport, so whenever there was any people over there to entertain us, we always used to go there as part of our driving, and we could do the work after that.
Yeah.
And
you had a freedom because you are the truck driver, so you could have access to the good food and place.
Well, the platoon of ASC, Army Service Corps, were there before us, and they developed a different system. If they had 2 loads to do, the quicker they got them done, that was the end of the day. So we joined what what didn't go to train the rest of the company, and so we did the same. And but when the rest of the company came, we had to go in. What do you call it?
Convoy.
Huh?
Convoy.
In convoys. And anyway, I can remember that soon after these others arrived, and they put us in the convoy, and the sergeant was taking our group, might be 10 trucks, and he was in front, and I'd been there quite some time, and the Americans had built some new roads, and one was shorter than the other to get back to the railway. And I took the shortcut because I was behind, and everybody followed me.
Yeah.
And the sergeant wasn't very happy when he got to the rails.
Yeah, right. So you have those fun and good memories too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too important to preserve those memories. And yes, go ahead.
What about the Welsh?
Oh, when we were taking the Welsh up to the front line
Yeah.
from their rear camp, they sang all the way, and you know it was at night, but we didn't want any extra noise because it could have attracted the big guns onto us.
Yeah.
But that's the attitude of them when they were in war. They didn't care.
Yeah.
They were going to be hit. They were going to be hit, but we didn't want to be that way.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yes. Again, this is my great opportunity to meet you and be able to hear from you about the stories, and with Shirley especially, and so that we can preserve your memory,
Yeah.
and especially those important pictures, okay?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll have to take them out, the albums, to